Hi, I'm Brent. Today we've got a video update on the Evo 10, and incredibly this car is still available for sale here in Australia, and we're in the middle of 2015, but its life as a brand new manufactured car is not much more to be had, which is a bit of a pity, but similar to our R&D car, this particular car here is going to be a fantastic car to drive when the customer picks it up. And what I want to update you in the next 5 or 10 minutes is just some of the tips and traps of what you need to know when you're modifying your Evo 10, no matter where you are in the world, because unfortunately there are some people out there that seem to think that by fitting a whole heap of parts to the car will immediately add a lot more power. And some of these things look pretty cool and sound really great, but actually in real world don't always give you what you come to expect. And this car is a bit of an example of that. The owner of the car loves his car, got a little bit of a bad advice from some other suppliers, wasn't happy with the performance and the way it was driving. In fact, it really was not a very nice car to drive at all. Came to us and we've spent the last couple of weeks just tidying a few loose ends up and giving it a bit of a birthday, so when he picks it up this afternoon, it'll be an enjoyable, quick car to drive. So one of the things we're trying to talk about to start with is hard pipe kits on the Evos. They look pretty cool, they're a popular upgrade, but actually they don't relate to any power. The original factory pipes, whilst they do expand and shrink under boost, that actually doesn't relate to any direct power, and it's very, very hard to measure it on the dyno. In fact, on our Evo 10 many years ago, we did a back-to-back test, and with even the hub dyno, couldn't even measure the difference of what that would do. Front mount intercoolers. Now, front mount intercoolers on the Evo 10, unless you're pushing really big boost, and this one's a bit hard to see because it's been painted black, unless you're pushing really, really big boost, the factory Mitsubishi Evo 10 front mount intercooler is a very, very good intercooler. So don't go out there rushing to replace the intercooler because you think you're going to get some miraculous increase in peak power or a consistent increase on hot days, because the factory one with the optional water spray, when it's used correctly, is quite good. You'll notice this particular car has got a modified air intake going into a modified turbo. It's got an aluminium pipe, which is pretty well fabricated off the factory airbox. The turbo has been modified to try and push a little bit more boost, but incredibly the internal components of this engine are still running a lot of original parts. It did have an upgrade. Unfortunately, he suffered from some mechanical problems, which I'll show you in a still photo that happens with this engine depending on how it's modified. And in fact, I've actually seen some of these Evo engines crack pistons in factory standard form with no modifications at all. He had a birthday, did some mild upgrades, but he fitted ginormous injectors thinking that the injectors were going to be better and he needed them, but ultimately at the end of the day, because they're so big, the car was really, really horrible to drive when it was off boost. When you've got your foot flat to the floor under full load, they're okay, but on cold starts and just normal cruising and driving, the car was jerky and just not very nice to drive. This car has got and it's a bit hard to see, but it's right down underneath the airbox in here. It's got the factory fitted dual clutch semi-automatic transmission. Now, the other thing that we're doing a lot more now these days is if you do serious modifications to these Evo 10s, there is a teach-in function using electronic software to allow the ECU in the transmission to talk to the ECU for the engine to what they do to do a teach-in, which puts the car through a mode of settings that it electronically analyses itself to adjust the settings in the clutch. So then when you are driving the car with more modifications and you're putting more torque through the transmission control unit actually knows what to expect. It knows that the car's going to come on boost a little bit quicker. It knows it's going to come on boost harder. So it actually predicts that torque settings through the gearbox, and it changes the way the gearbox works and the way it predicts the gear changes, and also has a big effect on the lockup of the gearbox clutch packs, which means the clutch packs will last longer and won't wear out. So other small things we've done which you can't see, but I'll show you some still photos. It's got some fantastic MCA blue coilovers for really good ride quality. We've put some white line front and rear sway bars on it to reduce the body roll and make it handle that a little bit better. And overall, this car now is going to be a really good fun car to drive. I'll load a dyno graph under this video link, which takes us to the album on our Facebook page. That'll help you understand a little bit more about what we've achieved. I'll put some still photos down on that link as well, so hopefully that'll help you. Make sure you share this video to your other friends. I hope it helps you no matter where you are in the world. If you've got an Evo 10, remember we do a lot of work on Mazda and Subaru as well as the Toyota 86, just to name a few. But I really want to make sure that you get the right information to make sure that you get good value, and follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter and Instagram. But for today, I'm Brett Middleton. Thanks for watching.